Hello guys and welcome. I hope that you're having a great day or good morning or good evening. My name is I play 4K, aka I play 8K, aka I play 16K, aka UHD King. During this video today I'm going to show you Doom Eternal running on 8K resolution native, recorded with external professional video recording equipment, so you're going to see the raw FPS without any FPS drop during the recording. So the FPS will be just like the way I'm not recording, just like the way I'm playing on this system without the recording. And I'm going to use today the server enterprise CPU. The CPU is not the big box like your computer case. It is an equal to processor, and it's going to be, this is guys a message for newbies, for the beginners. Keep in mind that there is a lot of people there are a lot of people that are watching us that are newbies. But CPU from 2013-2014, Intel Xeon E5-2697v2. Okay, let me real quick go ahead and show it to you. And Titan RTX. So this is going to be my CPU. As you can see, it's the Ivy Bridge EP, and it's going to be overclocked because on 12 cores, 12 threads, or 12 cores, 24 threads with the hyper threading technology, it's running maximum 3000 megahertz, which is 3 gigahertz, but I have it overclocked at 3.2 gigahertz, 200 megahertz additional boost through the BCLK. As you can see, 106 megahertz instead of 100 megahertz, because the maximum multiplier will be 30 available for 12 cores, 12 threads, or for the 12 cores, 24 threads. Today, as you can see, I'm running 12 threads and 12 cores right over here. So I disabled the hyper threading technology to avoid any high latency delay and run my lowest latency delay per physical cores, physical threads, and hopefully to receive the maximum possible FPS, because we don't need more than 12 core 12 threads. 12 core 12 threads is already too much for the Doom Eternal, so we're going to be Gucci over here. And I overclock my BCLK, or base clock frequency, by 6 megahertz additional. So 106 times 30 will be 3180, which is almost 3200 megahertz per each core. Okay, and I disabled the hyper threading technology, so 12 core 12 threads. I'm running it today on a gaming overclocking motherboard. So this is the server CPU running on gaming overclocking motherboard, Gigabyte X79UD3 version 1.1, and I'm using BIOS F20, because if you're not going to use BIOS F20 for any 2600v2 CPU, Xeon's E5, you're not going to post it, guys. It's going to be just a black screen, and after you're going to install the CPU, and if you're going to pretty much copy me, you want to make sure that your motherboard is using F20 BIOS, and to do so, use the i7 CPU, go to gigabyte.com website, download the F20 BIOS, install it, pretty much flash it through the Windows utility. It's easy to do. Just download the BIOS for flashing utility from the Gigabyte website, and then you can install the E5-2697v2. Otherwise, it's not going to be posted at all. It's just going to be black screen. And when you're running 106 megahertz, guys, your NIC, network integrated controller card, which is 1 gigabit per second on this motherboard, and the audio card is disabled. It's not going to be functional after you're going to increase the frequency to 106 megahertz, and 106 megahertz is my maximum possible base clock, or BCLK clock. BCLK twist to 125 megahertz doesn't work. This trick doesn't work here on a Xeon E5-2697v2. Keep that in mind. And it didn't work on a Xeon E5-2630 that I tried. So maximum possible frequency on a base clock can be 106 megahertz, and then times the maximum multiplier will be your frequency for any Xeon E5 or Xeon E5 version 2. Keep that in mind. Memory I'm using today 1866 megahertz CL9 by Crucial Ballistics, but unfortunately when you're running maximum capacity system RAM on this motherboard, you cannot overclock it. So it's running 1333 megahertz because I'm using 4 sticks, 8 gigabyte each, total 32 gigabytes, the maximum possible RAM allowed on this Gigabyte UD3 X79 version 1.1 motherboard. But I decided, you know what, instead of CL9 I went to CL7 and 1T command, very aggressive timing, and keep in mind it's not running at 1333 megahertz, it's running 1412 megahertz because BCLK is overclocked to 106 megahertz, and it's increasing a multiplier for your system RAM as well. This is how it is under the SPD, 1866 megahertz CL9, as you can see. Single Titan RTX, guys. During this video, if Doom Eternal will support SLI, I'm going to show you 2 Titan RTXs in SLI in Doom Eternal. It should be, because it's Vulkan 1.1.119 version, so I see no reason why Doom Eternal shouldn't be supporting SLI, because Vulkan 1.1 is supporting SLI officially. And this is how I scored with just 12 core 12 threads. You can use it by comparing with your computer. Okay, and let me real quick and show you something funny. So this is the Titan, right? And right now it's running, so maximum 8K resolution on the Titan RTX, you can run 30 Hz because it's using HDMI 2.0B port or display port 1.6, and it's not supporting 8K at 60 Hz. Keep that in mind. So I'm recording it at 8K at 30 Hz as well. However, I tweaked the game and it's thinking that this is the HDR, but before I'm going to show it to you, it shouldn't be HDR because 8K 30 Hz cannot be HDR. But this is the stock settings for Titan RTX. During this video I'm going to show you multiple presets, as well as I'm going to show you overclock video card to the maximum possible frequencies. It's running Titan RTX running completely on air with the dual fan NVIDIA air cooler stock and air thermal compound and NVIDIA thermal compound by stock. Keep that in mind. This Titan RTX doesn't have yet liquid metal thermal compound paste. My second Titan RTX has the liquid metal thermal compound paste, so I did it in purpose so I can test it and find out what's the difference, if it worth it or not. But let me show you something, guys. You saw the 30 Hz, right? Well, the game thinks that I'm using the enable HDR, and it's not. So what happened, I ran it at 4K resolution at 60 Hz, enabled the HDR, and then I went to switch to 8K resolution, and look like it still enabled the HDR. This is look like a bug, and it looks like an HDR actually in the game. The colors doesn't look like that kind of bright colors in SDR. It's look like kind of toned down, kind of beautiful tone like in the HDR. And we have also the HDR calibration enabled. Check it out, and I can adjust it, and it's accepting the value. See that? This is unbelievable. Let's go ahead and do the at 11 brightness. Too dark, but it's going to be, actually let's go ahead and bring to 10. It's going to be nice. Okay, so this is, by the way, how you can trick the version of the Doom Eternal in March 2020. So I'm going to show you all kind of different presets. I'm going to start with low preset, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch it. As you can see, everything is set to the preset except the film grain is 0, because I don't like that noise. Because video for the low quality in video preset on YouTube for the folks that using the slow internet will already show some noise, so we don't need to create an additional noise. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look, shall we, guys? 8K resolution native. I'm using today the Samsung TV at 8K resolution, 30 Hz, but it doesn't matter what kind of hertz I'm using today. The FPS that you're going to see will be just the same on any monitors with any type of hertz. So the vsync is off. That's why it's going to create some tearing, because there is no such a device available in 2020 that can record the gameplay at the variable FPS with the vsync off and record it without the screen tearing. Okay, especially when it's external device. Only the shadow play can do that, because the shadow play is the software, and it's NVIDIA software, so it's grabbing the frames directly from the frame buffer. Otherwise, when the device is receiving through the HDMI or display port cable, it's still going to show you some screen tearing. But the purpose of this video is not the gameplay without the screen tearing. Otherwise, I would enable the vsync, make sure that vsync is on, but then it's going to show us 8K resolution at 30 FPS, and you will never see the maximum possible FPS possible on the Titan RTX and this E5-2697v2 CPU from 2013-2014, which I think is the bargain from the eBay, used like new. The whole system without the video card will cost you, including the power supply, 32 gig of system RAM, motherboard, case, cooler, will cost you, and 250 gigabyte SSD will cost you $450. And as again, you don't need to have the Titan RTX unless you're going to play 8K resolution. But as again, 8K resolution for Doom Eternal, let's say for example, for this game that I'm playing right now, is not going to be enough for the beautiful gameplay for the price of Titan RTX. That is $2,500 for a single Titan RTX. You definitely want to have two Titan RTXs, and then what's the point for you to buy a low budget rig if you're capable to buy two Titan RTXs, right? So I'm assuming that you don't have money, you're on a low budget, and I advise you to buy a GTX 1080 Ti on the eBay, used like new. And if you decided to save on your CPU and motherboard, which is smart, and you do a lot of PC gaming, then, but at the same time you are as a 3D artist, you as doing as a YouTuber, doing a lot of video encoding, then the E5-2697v2 CPU will be a great idea. But you want to get two GTX 1080 Ti, guys, and two GTX 1080 Ti on the eBay in the 2020, in the end of 2020, will be $700, used like new, just $700. So pretty much 450 bucks, and for the computer without the video cards, and $700 for two GTX 1080 Ti. Total will be almost $1,200, but keep in mind the performance will be much higher that you can see right now in terms of the FPS. Okay, but as you can see, my VRAM usage right now is 14,500 megabytes right here at the left top corner, guys. See that? That means that with the two RTX 2080 Ti video cards, or with the two GTX 1080 Ti video cards, you're not going to be able to play 8K resolution without the hiccups and the smooth experience as you're going to receive on the two Titan RTXs. Yes, two GTX 1080 Ti will show you higher FPS at any other resolutions except 8K resolution in Doom Eternal, but it's not going to be enough, two GTX 1080 Ti video cards or two RTX 2080 Ti video cards, to play this game at 8K resolution, because my VRAM usage is almost 15,000 megabytes, almost 15 gigabytes, keep that in mind. And this is at low. If I'm going to increase the preset, you're going to see that it's most definitely going to increase the VRAM usage as well. But just because I have the Titan RTX, I have no other choices. I have a couple of them just to show you on this type of system. But if you're going to use single RTX 2080 Ti and play any other resolution or lower resolution than 8K resolution, you're going to receive the same FPS if you're going to overclock your RTX 2080 Ti video card, additionally 100 megahertz on the GPU and about 1000 megahertz on the VRAM, keep that in mind. So you're going to receive about the same FPS that I'm receiving right now, or even maybe a few FPS higher that I'm receiving right now, 1 or 2 FPS, keep that in mind. the game looks just beautiful, guys. Because again, don't worry about my FPS, don't worry about my hertz. It doesn't matter what is the hertz, because the vsync is unlocked, so you can see the maximum possible supported FPS, and then you're going to decide, you know, what kind of system you're going to build and with what kind of monitor in the future. That's the reason. Plus we can compare this video FPS versus the future GPUs to find out how well the Titan RTX was in 2018-2020 versus the newer video cards. This is the reason of this video why, okay? Beautiful game. I'm really enjoying this game. It was released 3 days ago. Actually already 4 days ago. It was released on March 20th. Today is March 24th. Beautiful depth animation, loving it. The game is not that easy, guys, so keep that in mind. It's not that easy. And I'm playing almost on the easier settings, and it's already almost killing me, as you can see. Wow, visuals are amazing. The game feels like Doom 2016, but on another level. The 3D models of the enemies is higher polygons, as you can see. You still can recognize some 3D models from Doom 2016, so pretty much it's like Doom 2016, but I would say version 2.0 on another level, and you're going to enjoy it, guys. The visuals are another level, animation and everything, so most definitely you're going to enjoy this game, guys. Look, check it out. Damn. Wow. It would be nice if this is how they're going to make the next Quake 5. Because I'm not digging the Quake Champions. I just don't like this upgrades and stuff. It just should be plain simple without all these upgrades, like the Quake 3 was, and then it's going to be the game, but with this type of visuals. Running beautiful, guys, on a low, above 40 FPS, and as again the FPS is raw because I'm capturing with the external video capturing device, so you can see the raw FPS. As you can see with the 8K resolution at 60 Hz, if you're going to use the vsync on, you're not going to reach it. Because my maximum at low is 40. But if Vulkan 1.1.192, as it is right now, API will support SLI, if the Bethesda NID software developers is not that lazy, then it's going to be Gucci at 8K resolution at 60 Hz monitor with the vsync locked to 60 Hz. You're going to enjoy, guys. And right now the gameplay actually is very comfortable. I'm just so enjoying, and I'm using the wireless keyboard and mouse, but still very enjoyable experience. Alright, let me go ahead and switch the presets. So check it out. 43 FPS, right? This is the lowest possible preset. Let's go ahead and switch it. I'm going to use the Ultra Nightmare, the possible maximum visuals, just to see what's the difference in terms of the performance. So everything is maxed out except the resolution scaling mode is off because we don't need to use any resolution scaling mode, and the film grain is 0 because I don't like that noise, the digital created noise, artificial noise. Check it out, from 42 to 37, 38, 4 FPS, not that bad. And this is stock. This is stock. Let me actually go ahead and overclock it. cannot overclock too high because I'm using everything at stock. Even the thermal compound paste is stock NVIDIA thermal compound paste. But guys, I don't see the reason to show you medium or high, because the maximum presets is only 4 FPS down, as you can see. So it's 42 on low and 37, 38 on ultra nightmare, which is the maximum possible presets. But let's go ahead and try to overclock our video card. .75 megahertz on the GPU is safe when your GPU utilization is 99%, and right now my GPU utilization is 99%, so 75. When I'm going to clock at 100 megahertz additional overclock on my GPU, there is a possibility it's going to freeze, at least what it does on my another video card that is using the liquid metal thermal compound paste, but the liquid metal thermal compound paste only helping to lower the temperature a little bit, but it's not stable. And the GPU that I'm using today, Titan RTX TU102 dash let me show it to you, dash 400A. It's not dash 300A as CPU Z showing to you. This is look like the first generation of the Titan RTX, and I'm look like I'm using the revised version, and it's TU102-400A1 because I know it for sure, at least on my second video card, because when I repasted the thermal compound paste, it's saying on the GPU itself TU102-400. Keep that in mind. And dash 400 GPUs, Titan RTXs Turing GPU architecture is not kind of high overclocker. Keep that in mind. So it says over here plus 1000 megahertz, but just because this is MS Afterburner and we're using GDR6, it's going to be plus 2000 megahertz. So from 14,000 megahertz we went to 16,000 megahertz, additional 2000 megahertz overclock on our GDR6 Samsung, and additional 175 megahertz overclock on our GPU. Let's go ahead, guys, and have a look, shall we? By the way, this is my beautiful system, just like on a wallpaper, and of course I engraved this in Photoshop, the CPU load on my CPU cap, but otherwise everything else is my CPU. Look at this. I think you can see right here, so it's not the HDR. You can see over here some noise around the CPU, and this is artificial noise. So look like we didn't trick too much of Doom in Eternal. It's actually probably not using the HDR, and it's kind of trick the colors to be able to use it, but it's not fully HDR. As you can see, it's kind of ugly over here, the wallpaper. When I'm using the 4K resolution at 60 Hz with HDR, it's beautiful over here. It's bright, it's just over bright, but it's not the completely HDR, and we can see that ugly transition. Okay, but I need to have the HDR on, otherwise when the HDR is off under the Doom Eternal settings, it's not showing the MS Afterburner. I'm not sure why. It's in March 2020, a revision of the Doom Eternal, but it doesn't, so I need to make sure that HDR is on so I can show you the stats at the left top corner that you can see right now. Very helpful. So from 37 to 39, 2 FPS, 37, 38 to 39 completely, so we increase about 1 FPS. So just like, guys, I told you, when there is a formula for the overclockers, when your FPS 30-60 FPS and you overclock a maximum FPS boost, you can receive 2-3 FPS from overclock. But when your FPS is 60-90 from overclock, you can receive about 3-4 FPS, and when your FPS 90-120 and above FPS, there is a possibility that you can receive 7-10 FPS additional from the overclock. So go ahead and use this formula for the future completely to realize what's going on. Look at this beautiful visuals. By the way, I'm going to use it as a benchmark, comparing against the different systems, against the different video cards, different GPUs, different CPUs. I'm going to compare it with my i9-9900K with single Titan RTX and 2 Titan RTXs, my primary gaming system, and this is my secondary system, and it's rendering firm, guys. It's not the gaming system, but as you can see, it can be a gaming system as well, and I would be happy personally. Just want to let you know, with this system, if I wouldn't have money for the primary system, with this system I would be happy. So go ahead and get yourself this one. You're going to enjoy, guys. Build yourself this system instead of Ryzen 1800X. This is much better system, especially when you doing some 3D rendering or video encoding, especially 3D rendering, because 3D rendering can utilize all the 24 logical cores when using 12 cores with the hyper threading. This is exactly why you want to use this versus the Ryzen 1800X or Ryzen 2800X. Keep that in mind. We saw some screen tearing, I know, but as again, when vsync is off, there is no way for us to show without the screen tearing. So there is no devices available in 2020 that can record the screen, the gameplay, let's say, with a variable FPS without this vsync on, and show you guys the beautiful every single frame without the screen tearing or without broken frames. But the purpose of this video is not the beautiful every single frame in this video. Otherwise, I'm probably going to show you guys the I would probably show you with the vsync on for that type of purposes. So you need to understand what kind of purposes. This is the raw FPS purpose, just to show you what is possible, and what kind of FPS we can achieve with a single Titan RTX on this 12 core 24 thread CPU from 2013 that you can purchase for, right now they asking for this CPU $179 to $100 on eBay, used like new, but it was $159 average price. The reason why, because the Chinese virus in 2020, but after that point, when the crisis will let go, they will ask $150, $149, and in the end of 2020, I'm looking that CPU will be around $129, and in the beginning of 2021 this CPU will be around $79. And if you're 3D artist, you want to buy two of them, and you're going to receive a lot of fun, guys, with two of them. Like, wow, I'm telling you, completely going to be worth it. With the 48 threads, if you're 3D artist, under the 3ds Max Studio, you're going to utilize all of them and speed up almost by 2 times your rendering time. Let's say if you're rendering 3D scene into the video file, 4K or 8K resolution, is going to be Gucci. But keep in mind, guys, for this CPU, 32 gigabytes is not enough if you're doing the 3D rendering project, and let's say if you're rendering in 8K resolution, you're going to overrun your system RAM 32 gigs. So make sure you're getting at least 64 gigs when you purchase building a system. If you do more than PC games, and let's say if you're planning to do 3D rendering in 8K resolution, and of course this is why you need that much core. Probably 8K resolution will be 4K resolution at least your goal, but with 8K resolution, 3ds Max, rendering the beautiful scene under the Arnold rendering API, you want to have at least 64 gigs. Hopefully, guys, this makes sense. Guys, this was with the maximum possible presets, by the way. This was amazing. So 64 gigs of system RAM you're planning to get it, guys, and it's going to cost you additional $35-50. You can get a cheap Chinese motherboard, X79 dual socket. They don't make X79 dual sockets. Or get yourself Tian server motherboard or super macro, but under those motherboards you cannot use the register memory, and under the Chinese board X79 you can use unregister or register memory, all kind of memories. And if you're having some memory laying around DDR3, you can use it from the PC gaming system from 2014. Keep that in mind. But as again, you want to make sure. Wow, look at this. Look like those monsters was fighting each other. Wow. .38 FPS, guys, not bad. Not so comfy at Ultra Nightmare, even with overclock, but hey, as you can see, it doesn't matter if I'm overclocking or if I'm not overclocking, because I'm reaching 74 Celsius right now, and it's a little bit thermal throttling. As you can see, it's lowering the GPU frequency from 1920 to 1905, so it's already thermal throttling. If you want to keep your overclock without the thermal throttling, you want to have your temperature below 70 Celsius under your Titan RTX. Keep that in mind. And on my CPU today, I'm using the Corsair H100i Pro, no, H100i, yeah, Pro RGB XT. I believe this is the third revision of the Corsair H100i water cooling system, and it's amazing. But for the price, it's like $120. I think they're asking too much for this system, because you can get yourself from a different brand for 79 bucks. It's just 240 millimeter radiator and with 2 fans on it. But it's Corsair, it's beautiful RGB. But guys, I have a beautiful solution for you if you're looking to build this system. Go ahead and sign up, subscribe for iPlay4k.com YouTube channel or for the UHDking.com YouTube channel, because I'm going to review the best air cooler, full copper, made of full copper completely. And oh my god, if you want to survive, you want to stay away from that dude. And it's going to be a Zellman CNPS 9900 full copper heatsink. They don't make any full copper heatsinks in 2020 or 2018. It's going to show you performance better than anything out there, better than Noctua. And I purchased that on Amazon, used like new for, you're not gonna believe me, but I purchased it for $11. But right now on Amazon you can purchase this for 20 bucks, used like new, and brand new for $34.99 or $39.99. Some of the retailers not on Amazon is asking actually $59, still $59. They do, but look at that. That guy is not a joke. They got me. Anyways guys, you saw all kind of FPS, and I'm about to wrap up anyways. So this is the best setup, guys. I'm going to review with that Zellman, and that Zellman is amazing. It also has the blue RGB fan on it, and it's $34.99 or $39 on the Amazon. And guys, it's going to outperform any coolers. And I'm going to review it with this H110i Pro RGB XT as I'm using today. As you can see, it's also beautiful. But the cone of the water cooling system pump will go down after 3-4 years, and it's going to be just garbage. But the Zellman air cooler will never go down. It will last you for 20 years, and it's full copper. It doesn't matter used or new. Air cooler, full copper, made of full copper completely without any aluminum in it, just a full copper, and that's it. Is the best air cooler based on, at least on the chemical characteristics, transferring the heat, and it's just below $30. It's just amazing. But I'm going to compare it, and as again, go ahead and subscribe for iPlay4k.com YouTube channel or UHD King. .com if you're looking for something like that, and it's going to be just amazing. Alright guys, right now I'm putting some cool videos for you. Don't forget, a lot of time, money, energy was invested. Smash that like button, subscribe, positive comments, and I will see you guys in the next videos.